Today on the Tim Marner podcast show, we've got Rebecca.
Energies of an angel.
Energies of an angel.
Yeah.
Why can't I say that right?
I don't know. My kids take a piss out of it as well.
Do they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do we need to change that? I don't know.
I
Why
don't
am I
know.
struggling saying that? Why is it not flowing like I want it to flow? Energy healer.
Yeah.
Where did this start? Tell me about that. I'm going to come back to that, energies of an angel.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
It doesn't feel
Yeah,
right.
there's something, go on.
Right, so ever since being a kid, I've always known I've been a little bit different and always picked up on quite a lot. I'd say in about 2018, we had a lot of problems like in our family with family illnesses. My mum, my best friend, my sister-in-law all got cancer. My brother had a brain injury and my niece committed suicide, all in a really short period of time. And I just felt numb, I'll be honest with you. But I was concerned that I've had anxiety in the past, and obviously to be the best mum I could be and wife, I was like, I can't let this happen again. And somebody suggested Reiki to me. So I had it, and I was basically made out to be an absolute pain. They couldn't get past my head to do the treatment. They was like, oh, your head's too busy. And my mum had said to me, oh, it's so... When somebody does Reiki on you, it really drains them because they give you their energy. So I was like, all right, okay, well, this lady's going home and going to bed after treating me today. And I tried again, and I really wanted it to work, and the next lady couldn't help me. So thankfully, I did find somebody, and she sent the healing to me distantly. And I felt a really strong connection, and then one of the neighbours knocked on our door, so we got
disconnected.
Yeah, and I explained to her why, and she said, oh, it's all right, we'll do it again. And I had the treatment, and I had an unblock from my heart, and I was crying rivers and just felt like a massive release. So then lockdown hit, and we obviously had time then to just like disconnect from everything you do on the daily, and I was like, I want to learn this and do it and treat myself. So I learned it with a lady. Didn't really feel too connected, if I'm honest with you, and just did a lot of self-healing, and then did the level 2 so I could do it on other people. But in that time in my life, I didn't really need to be working or hustling, so I'd just do it on friends and get good results. And then I learned my tarot, which is such a deep healing journey, and I'd gone for treatments with the lady who I go to now, and she just said, you've got the gift. The reason why people struggle to treat you is because there's so much energy, healing energy within you, and they're not working with that. They're basically seeing it as a challenge. So I was just like, right, okay. So she told me I had the gift of tarot, and I didn't really think anything of it. And then one day I was meditating and doing cold water therapy, and I just saw tarot cards in water. And I was like, wow, okay, let's see what happens with this. And it sat on my mind ever, you've got to learn. And I did, but that was such a deep healing journey.
What's it?
Yeah, really.
And what do you mean by that?
Well, you learn about the cards, but the cards basically have a different meaning, each card. So like the swords decks are all about your thoughts. There's cards around heartbreak, there's cards around changing your life, all different things. So basically you've got to, when you learn about each card, you've got to be a clear vessel and not have any emotional attachment to it from any wounds of your own. So I learned the cards over about 9 months. It was intense, but I could read cards for you, I could read cards for the guy here, and it'd have a completely different meaning. But I am so it's not any of my emotions. I've not, no, but I'll bring them back. I will bring them back. Yeah, and we'll do some cards. It's been so deeply healing and transformative. And then after that, I did my angelic Reiki with Yvonne, my angel lady. And again, that was amazing. Yeah, so much comes up. You think, oh, I'm in a really good place, and then another lesson will come up, and like I'm not going to lie, on the Reiki healing with the angelic Reiki on the level 2, we was doing the course, and I was on with some other ladies, and we were in a deep meditation, having the like the codes put into us, and they all fell asleep and they were all snoring, and I was so triggered to a point where I was crying at end, just so angry, and it's like a wound what had come up within me, because I'm like, they were all like, oh, we're sorry. I was like, I am absolutely fuming, so mad.
Why were you mad?
Because I felt like they were spoiling my experience because they were snoring outside of me.
Right.
But it was triggering something within me, and it's just like...
What did it trigger in you?
Anger. Deep anger.
And where did the anger come from?
I don't know. I think it were... I personally think it were... No, I do know. It were a feminine wound.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, so selfish. How are you all here just snoring? Like, have you not got any respect?
Right.
Yeah, but they were in a deep meditative state, and I was just so angry. And one of the two of the ladies just looking at me as if, like, wow,
yeah,
you like a gremlin. And the other lady just grabbed hold of me and hugged me, and I just cried. Wow, yeah. That's
a powerful shift, isn't it?
Powerful, so powerful. Because the lady, Yvonne, our lady who's taught me, she is just pure. So she was like, how's everyone's experience been? And they were like, oh, it's been amazing. I've seen this, I've seen that. And I just went, I'm fucking fuming. That's how I am. I'm really mad. I'm really angry. You've ruined it for me. And she went, no, they haven't. Your consciousness is rose. I could do everything. So I felt a bit calmer then, because I was like, what have I been doing, lying in this situation and just all this coming up? But it needed to come up. Yeah. And I came away and I spoke to people. Actually, it was on the day 1, not on the day 2, so I had to go back next day. Yeah. And there was, when it were all happening and how I reacted, there was like the inner child voice in my head with my mum saying, it's always you, and all of that coming up. You're ruining it for yourself because you're getting yourself like angry. But it's how I felt.
How do you work on something like that?
I think reflection is the key. Always, like honour and respect how you're feeling. Honour and respect what's coming up, but ultimately it's a wound within you what needs to be healed. And there are a lot of people now blaming other people. And in that moment, I was blaming them. Like, you are bugging me, you are ruining this for me. But in turn, I should have just gone, why is that just little noise annoying me so much?
It's a big one, that, isn't it?
It's a massive one, yeah.
Even though it doesn't sound like much, it's massive, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which goes back to your mum sort of telling you off for being...
Yeah, for reacting.
For other, right,
yeah.
Wow.
I know, and I'd been away with... No, I went away with my... Had I been? No, I'd just been away with my mum. We went to Marrakesh and we had a room together, and I went, I can't sleep with you, your snoring is bugging me so much. And I slept in the other room. So it's something in that, yeah. But I was so, I went back on day after. Everyone were lovely. Actually thanked me for being so honest, because there was something what needed to shift that day in that room, and I was the one, by being a little hellraiser, what brought it up.
How did when you were little, like, did you knew you had something? There's something there. But how did you know that? Could you feel stuff more than other people?
I think so, yeah. And I think if I were growing up...
Can you remember the first instance of it? Was there a particular...
Things? I always just had like a really... I'd say I could always read people and know if I was safe or not.
Right.
Yeah, and I've always been able to see through a lot of things, yeah. And I struggled a lot when I was a kid, you know, like with people who were two-faced. I'd be like, Mum, why are they being like that? Or why are they like that when they're outside, but behind closed doors, they're really different? And she'd be like, oh, I was like too much for her. With my dad worked away, and I was like, Mum, I'd always be saying stuff and asking and really inquisitive. And I'd say she tried for tame some of it. Yeah. Fiery temper, let things come out. But I just didn't like injustice and people not lying or not being nice, I'd say. Yeah. Well, I don't know. But then a lot of times I felt really safe, you know, around the right people. And I see that in my kids now. I think kids only ever act up when they don't feel safe. Yeah, I do.
The gift that you've got then, is it one of the clairs that you've got? That are like a certain, what are the clairvoyance, clairsentience, clair, you know what I mean? What is that gift that you've got?
I wouldn't even put a name on it, I'm not sure. I think I'm really deeply intuitive.
Yeah.
I can see through a lot of veils of illusions. And a lot of the time it's brought me a lot of sadness, you know, when you sometimes think somebody's a certain way and you get on really well and then they show the true colours. It upsets me, really does. And I do see through a lot of things, but I need to honour it and see it as a real gift now, instead of being like, oh God, I've discovered this and it's upsetting me, and just keep myself protected, I'd say.
How do you keep yourself protected?
Stay true to myself. Don't come out of alignment. If I feel like I'm in in a situation where I don't feel safe, leave. Don't do things. I think a lot of the time, or maybe in the past, I've done certain things to, maybe from a place of ego, maybe to be accepted or whatever. Now, if I don't want to do it, I don't do it. If I don't, and everything's a definite yeah or no. I don't get FOMO or anything like that. And if something gives me anxiety, you know, like the thought of going somewhere around certain people, I'm just like, trust it and don't go, basically. That's it.
Are you do you live like totally in that intuitive sort of heart space most of the day?
Yeah,
and don't let your head come into play?
That's the ideal. Sometimes it does. Last week, I will say, I was so in my head massively, and you just bring yourself out of alignment. But I do think we're going through a massive shift at the moment, and it's like a time of rebirth, deep healing, and sometimes old stuff has got to come up, and it's got to come, like if you just imagine there's a pan and things have got to come up to spill over and release. And you know, if you do start going into old ways or behaviours come up, just own it, accept it, and realise I used to be like that. It made me feel this way. Come back to your heart space. I would love to say that I'm constantly in my heart space, because that is when I'm the happiest and you see things so much nicer. But we all sometimes come out of alignment due to things what happen to us or circumstances. Yeah. The
tarot's interesting. So when you're doing the tarot then, and then cards are presented, can you then see messages within that person, or are the messages within the card?
The cards are like the vessel. So right. Yeah. So
does people work with them differently? The tarot cards to other people? Has everyone got a different way of working with them?
I'm not entirely sure. If I was doing cards for you now, I would just we'd ground and centre first, and then I'd say if you've got anybody in spirit, or you believe in any angels or masters or anything, you can invite them into the reading.
Any what masters?
Yeah, you know, like how some people pray to
Right.
someone.
Yeah.
You have like Kuan Yin or
Right.
Buddha or anything. If you want to bring anybody in to bring a message in, you can. And then I'd give you a minute. Say, ask the cards the question what you want. If you've got more than one question, let's do it one at a time. And then just ask for a number and I'd shuffle on that, and then the message would be there. And I'd bring through the message from the cards and intuitive feeling as well. Yeah. And
Can you do it without the cards?
No, I could do intuitive healing with you. Like, I could always do that. You know, if you're feeling a certain way or certain things are happening, we could just talk about it, and I could like try and help you determine where you're out of alignment, what's causing, what's happening. You know, like, for example, somebody who's gossiping all the time, they're going to have a blocked throat chakra. Somebody who's not speaking the truth to protect the self from other people, likely have a blocked throat chakra. Somebody who's in financial difficulty or really bad with managing money, the root chakra is going to be blocked and they're going to feel unsafe. Somebody who's going through grief, who's not reaching out to other people or accepting love and help off other people, the heart's going to be blocked. Somebody who's likely to have a lot of anxiety and in their head all the time and worry, the crown will be. You know, there's so many different reasons. Somebody who's absolutely not doing a job what they absolutely hate and not following the soul path, the solar plexus will be blocked. There's so many different things, you know. People who've got unhealed trauma around rape and sexual health, the sacral chakra will be blocked. And it's just identifying where you've got blockages, the causes of them, and working through it. It really is. Honesty is a big thing, but I think men a lot of the time struggle with talking over things. So the energy healing is just amazing because you can just unblock the chakras without having to speak a lot and unravel a lot of information first. So that's why I like the energy work. It's effective, it's quick, and a lot can be achieved in a single session. And then with the angelic Reiki, like, angels come in as you're doing it, which is powerful.
So what's the difference between sort of like Reiki, angelic Reiki then?
The Reiki is just you work over the energy centres and unblock the chakras. Mm-hmm. The angelic Reiki is the same, but angels come in as well to amplify it. So, yeah, just extra healing.
And how is it different then? Doing the angelic, you're doing something different there where you're in what?
You're calling in the angels as well. So I would, before a treatment, I'd just be like, whichever angels needs to come in. So, like, for the heart, I have a good connection with Archangel Shmuel. He comes in.
What's that?
Shmuel is all around your heart and healing of your heart and love and things like that. Yeah, it's nice. So. Yeah,
I've never heard of the angelic healing before. I've had sort of like Reiki done before, but I've not had the angelic, or I don't know, I'm not sure.
You might have.
I might have.
I did it because obviously the first lady I did my Reiki 1 and 2 with, I didn't ultimately connect.
Push your hair off from the eye, the other side. That's it. Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, I didn't really connect with her, so because I've got such a good connection with Yvonne, and I learned the tarot, I just thought having the angelic side of it and calling the angels in to the tarot, it just helps.
Where's Yvonne based? I feel like I've heard that name before.
She's in Lee.
All right, no, it's something different then.
No, she's really low key. She's very, very busy, but people just go to her. So, yeah. So
you find your guide, she's kind of your guide, is she?
She definitely is, yeah. She's so authentic, amazing, yeah.
What sort of meditation do you do then? To sort of like...
I do some guided, but sometimes I just have to sit with stuff and just sit quiet. Some days it's easier than others, isn't it, when you've got a busy mind. What do you do?
I get up around sort of 4 o'clock's usually my sort of like get up time.
Yeah.
And that's the time where I try get into it straight away. Where I'll just sort of sit there. Sometimes I'll put a frequency on.
Yeah.
At the minute I'm doing frequency, and then I'll put sort of tribal drumming on, and that's
powerful, isn't it?
yeah. I like it, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
So it's bringing something up at the minute.
Is it?
Yeah. So I'm like, I need to keep doing it because I feel like all of a sudden it's just going to get into something that's
scaring you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brave, so brave.
Yeah.
Really brave.
Yeah, the frequency stuff's really nice, mate.
Powerful. There's another one what I sometimes do, and I'll tell it you because it's on my phone. I forgot, but it's just a sound, and it really taps you in.
Right. Transcendental meditation.
Yeah,
right,
that one. Sometimes I do that because the guided.
Yeah.
I struggle with visualization. It says, imagine you're in a valley. Well, I'm not. I'm in my room.
Yeah.
My mind is very much like that. So,
yeah.
a lot of time having a day of nothing as well works. Like where you like, we're just going to have a quiet day, sit with a lot of stuff what's uncomfortable at the moment, and then I get in the shower and something will just be like, boom. Yeah, that's what it was. Last week, I'm not going to lie, when I struggled, it came to me when I was in shower. And I do want to do, just focus on my energy work and tarot. But my circumstance at the moment is my husband's in jail, so...
Really?
Yeah, that's been my... Yeah, and it's a good job I took a spiritual path to deal with that, because that's just been like the rug's been pulled under our feet.
Oh, when was that?
Last May. Yeah, just such a shock.
What can we talk about that?
Yeah.
What happened? I don't know.
Yeah, the house got raided. I were at yoga. Everyone else were at home. So we've got 3 kids. The boys were all at home. Son's girlfriend and baby, and got arrested and not been back since for a firearms offence.
Did you? Well, obviously.
Obviously, I didn't know it was there. No. So he went straight to jail then, and it's just been so good that I have took this path what I've took to deal with it, because I don't know what I would have done. If I'd not done the inner child work, I would have been stuck in the blame, shame, guilt. Oh my God, because a lot of people judge, don't they? A lot of people have their opinion, and honestly, I'm not going to lie, I've just basically thought my concern is him, me, and kids. This is only people who matter in this, and it's put a strength within me where I've just had to crack on and just be a mum and really be in my feminine energy, because teenage boys, if I'm shouting, screaming, stressed, you know how they're going to react. And they've been amazing. Kids have been amazing. They show how resilient they are, and my husband's doing all right. He's the kind of person who can really surrender. Just, he's obviously missing us all. He's gutted, not providing for us. So, he will have all them feelings, but the feelings he'll have to sit with and work through, and hopefully he'll come home soon.
How long has he got?
Well, it's a 5-year sentence. Yeah.
5 years.
5 years. He'd obviously not used it. So, yeah, but still, it's shocking.
Wow.
I know.
Just from owning a gun.
Yeah.
5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's just like only way I can see it is what's helped me through is. Right, there's got to be some kind of lesson, it's got to be like a blessing in disguise. That's the only way we can look at it, and nobody's hurt, it's victimless. When people have their opinion, mainly family, you're just like, they need to stay in their own lane and focus on their own families instead of commenting on mine, and don't react to it. My parents really upset, and they they reacted in their way, and ultimately we've got to be concerned about that because they're a different generation, aren't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, just tried to sit in my art space, and I took some time off work. Thankfully, we're really good over it, because I just got a message really early on. Easiest thing you could do right now is return to your job as an housing officer, deal with everyone else's chaos, and make your own life look a bit more normal. But no, you can't. You've got to heal from this deep trauma, what's happened, and be there for the kids. So I took quite a bit of time out, and yeah, we're just trying to crack on.
So you, as well as doing the sort of tarot and the energy healing, you're also a housing officer at the same
as well.
time.
Yeah. But last week it just came up. You're trying too hard to do everything at the minute. Just take some time off social media. Really fill your own cup up, and focus on your work and life, and everything will happen in divine timing.
What are the downloads getting presented to you when you are getting a download? Where are you mainly? Could it be any time, or is it?
It's usually in my shower.
Is it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it could be doing something to do with water.
Yeah, I have so many downloads in water.
Do you?
I don't know if it's because I'm a Pisces, but
Right.
find it really deep healing. I used to do cold water therapy every day, but I've not been doing it as much just lately because it's changed at the gym how it was. It used to be like quite a simple setup, but now it's all in the spa and it's a bit busy and noisy. Yeah. Yeah, but I do get a lot of downloads, I'll be like, why is this happening? And then something will just shift and come in.
When you say, why is this happening, are you saying it out loud or are you saying it internally when you say it?
Usually internally, and I will call on some angels for guidance a lot of the time, yeah. Yeah, and I'm like, because I'm a great believer in karma, I'm a great believer in lessons, and it's like, I don't want lessons to keep being repeated to me. Let me just deal with this now and then it'll go. Do you know what I mean?
Who are your angels?
I've got a strong connection with Archangel Michael, who's protective.
When you say that, how do you know you have? Does he get presented to you, or do you get a message?
It's just like an inner knowing.
Is it?
I'm not like I've said, I'm not a very visual person. Some people will be like, I can see him. I just have an inner knowing, and since my husband's been in jail, when kids are saying, "Oh, I'm going here" or "I'm going there," before I'd be like, "Oh, just tell your dad or ask your dad. Your dad'll," Now, I do ask for angelic protection for them when they go in places because 17, 13, 22, all boys, so they need it. Yeah. Yeah, and then Archangel Shemuel as well. Shemuel, he's for the heart healing.
Right.
I have a good connection with him, but different ones.
And where's Shemuel from then? What sort of religion, what nationality is that Shemuel? Don't know. You're just getting the... Just
got a connection, yeah. Don't really research things too much, me. I think I feel it, and that's that. But
is that enough for you?
It's enough.
Feeling it.
Yeah, it's just enough.
You don't need a knowing. You don't need an understanding.
No.
You just
have
be with it.
Yeah, be with it. And same with crystals. It's just like whatever I'm drawn to, I'll get it. I don't really need to research it too much. I used to be a bit like that, but I think it's sometimes from a place of ego, isn't it? I need to understand this. Like when I fasted, when I first got introduced to fasting, I was like, I need to know the ins and outs of this because it's going to be a challenge to me. And once I understand why, I'll do it, and what benefit it'll have for me, I'll do it. But I need to know why first. So I did really research that and certain other things, but now I just trust how I feel with a lot of things, and it is empowering. It is, because I wouldn't say I have battled with anxiety in the past, and now I associate feelings with what's going on within you in alignment. If you're anxious over a situation, do you need to go? Do you not? Like, if you don't need to go, don't do it. Are you anxious, or are you excited? Are you a bit nervous? And it's just identifying them emotions without putting a label on them. And then same with depression. Feeling low, are you eating well? Are you practicing gratitude? Are you playing small? Like, are you too comfortable? Check if you're doing any of them things. If any of them things are occurring first, and then make changes. And basically, I do feel like when you reflect on the situation, what you're going through, you can help yourself through it. And I think I can speak with quite a lot of, with what I've gone through now. You know, I'm not just saying it without any life experience. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, really good that, mate.
I know.
The not knowing, you know, being all right with, you don't have to
put a...
Yeah.
Understand it. And I know men and women work really differently. But for me, it's just like enough. If it's bringing me peace, it's all right. And I think it's really important as well, like, that's how I might feel today. Tomorrow's something else. We're moving, we're evolving all the time. Because do you not feel like a common thing what I hear is when people make positive change in their life and they really change, and they're like, people always remember the old them. And you're like, wow, is that where you're stuck? Like, if you put that label on somebody, that means you're never going to change. Do you know what I mean? It's we can change all the time. Be somebody new tomorrow, or come in and out of things what interest you. You know, I last week, like I said, I weren't in a good place. My ego was quite loud. My oldest son actually said, "Mum, you are entitled," and I went, and I didn't react to what he said, but I went away and I sat with it and I thought, wow, you're not being too grateful for some things this week, and that's why you feel like you do. And I've been playing small in gym, just doing yoga, and I thought, you need humbling. You've got to go back and do more like HIIT and strength training, and I'm doing things what are really like attacking my ego, and it's what we've got to do.
Is that your main thing for going to the gym then?
What?
Is kind of humbling yourself? Is that the reason that you go?
No.
Apart from the health side of it, like.
No, I mean, I enjoy it. I do enjoy it, but I don't know if I just got a bit obsessed with yoga, and stopped doing any of the other stuff. And I'm like, no, you got to get out of your comfort zones a bit, and start doing some other stuff. I could feel stagnant energy in my body, and I put weight on. So I'm like, you've got to do things what you've been avoiding. And I like laugh. I do laugh. You know, when you have these realizations, and you've got to push yourself out of your comfort zones. And
so you can feel that stagnant energy within you.
Yeah, can. Yeah. I don't know if it's by being back at work, you know, like sitting at a desk a bit more, and I like moving and just being free and floating and doing my own thing. Yeah. So.
What was the did people take you seriously at school? What were you like at school, you?
Yeah, I had loads of mates. I was quite, I'd have a laugh, and I'd say more just, I've always just been really honest, and some people don't like that, do they? But I have good mates. I've still got a lot of my friends from school. Just remember at primary being really like scared a lot of time, and I did sit in that fear a lot. I don't know if that's maybe it's come from a past life. I don't know. And I will admit I brought it into my parenting sometimes, you know, like worrying what other people think. And I've got three sons, half English, half Albanian. They're lovely manners, amazing kids, but they they say it as it is. They do what they're doing, and they can't be in a room and not going to stand out or do their own thing. And I used to sometimes be like, you can't do that, you can't do that. And my husband were always like, why? And I'd always make sure they were immaculate, because they'd be running around wild, and be like, oh, at least we don't look like gypsies, because a lot of time people on a day out would think we were gypsies.
Really?
Yeah, not that there's anything wrong with gypsies. I like how they roll.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I really like it. But yeah, they'd think we were a travelling family. But the kids are amazing. So good. Like, they're just true to themselves and so authentic. But in this world now, a lot of people are not, are they?
No, it's a shame, isn't it?
It is a shame. But
what's your goal then? What's your sort of like vision for yourself?
my vision, so I'd like to travel a lot with the tarot and the healing work. I just love being a free spirit. I do. That would be the ultimate.
That's just what I was thinking. What came up for me was like, because you're such a free spirit, were you taken seriously at school? Do you know what I mean? Have you always had this free spirit when you were little? There's something about you that I cannot put my finger on, but I don't think I want to put my finger on, because you have got this freeness about you, freeness of your head, where you don't need to understand stuff, where you're like,
just be with it. I might have hid it a bit.
Yeah.
Might have just hid it. Yeah. But I don't know. I didn't really... I didn't understand a lot at school. I was just like, why?
Yeah.
What's the point of this? Yeah. Came out with alright grades, but it's like a lot of it, I didn't really see a purpose to it. But I just floated through it, I'd say.
So do you think of becoming a tarot card reading gypsy?
Yeah.
And just floating about?
Yeah, I have got gypsy in my... Yeah. I'd love that. I would absolutely love that, and not really have a plan or a schedule. It's like, as an housing officer now, I don't really put too much... I'll have odd appointment booked in, but I just deal with things as they come up. As you can understand, I'm working with a lot of chaotic people who don't always adhere to plans anyway, so I just roll with it through the day. And I take a spiritual approach when I'm working with people.
Do you?
Yeah, massively. Don't judge. And I always said, you're in a situation now what, I don't know, you're not happy with or you need help with, so please just be honest with me. I'm not going to judge you. I'll be honest back and we'll work out a solution. You know, there's a lot of people really struggling, and I just think if you can work from a compassionate place and do everything within your power that you can to help somebody, as well as allowing them to meet you halfway, it's going to be a good outcome. You can't do everything for people. I just don't think that works anyway. It just shrinks people, and do you know what I mean? But working together is so important. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think you'll always work it out, is it?
There's
always be a part of you there, because it's like, you know, it's people like you. Can you not train other people to like be like you and come from a more of a spiritual sort of...
You'd like to. Well,
yeah.
Everyone's entitled for roll who they roll, aren't they?
Yeah.
I've really hit that point now.
Have you?
Yeah, I think I went through a time where I was like, your judgment, you're like this, why are you like that? No, I honestly, I'm just, everyone's on their own path. Everyone's here for their own reason. I'm not saying my way is the right way, but I will just roll in a way what brings me peace, and I know I'm doing my best. And what more can you do? There's nothing really more you can do. You can't expect other people to be like you or understand it. I mean, sometimes the way I roll, my mum and dad really struggle with it. They really do. But I'm not changing, because it feels true to me. Everyone at home is pretty much on the same page as me, so we're good. And I think, well, my husband had definitely like started with the shifts even before I had, so that's good. Yeah, but I just think January last year I went on a retreat and I just brought through so many subconscious blocks what I didn't even realise were there. And like you said, with when you're doing the healing work, sometimes you do want to run away. It's scary and so much is coming up, but if you sit with it, it's just powerful, isn't it?
Yeah.
So powerful.
Yeah, sit with it.
Sit with it and heal the inner child. I think that's the foundation to any healing. Yeah, really do, because that's where all your emotions are really coming from, in my opinion. You know, I witness it every day in other people, and you're just like, oh, it's just your wounded inner child, what's playing out. And I think it's so important in parenting as well, because if you've got a child and you've got a wounded inner child and you're meeting together, it's not nice. It's really not. But once you make that little child safe within you, it's profound. And I've done a lot of healing work over the years, and healers have said, oh, just find that little girl within you, and I'm like, what are you going on about? What are you going on about? It's not happened like straight away, but then when I did identify her and did the healing work around it, then it's felt like a massive shift. We're on a mountain in Spain with Dan Sargentson. I don't know if you know him. He used to play rugby, and I just found my inner child in that moment, and
Why was that
sobbing.
moment?
We'd done some healing before and had a bit of happy. Have you ever used it? Yeah. And it was the first time I'd used happy, and it was just like I saw her, and I could identify so many like I could understand so many challenges what I've gone through in life because of the wounded inner child. Oh, and I just cried and released it, yeah. And they were all around feelings of shame and blame, and like 6 years old. Yeah, whereas some people might have the first trauma, what they felt as a child, younger or as a teenager, and it's common that you react in that way from that wound, from the cellular memory, when you're faced with any problem in life. And it's just heal it, and it's powerful. Like I said, if I'd not done that work and this happened with my husband, probably wouldn't have left my house. I would have been like, oh my God, what are people going to think? And I had this strong, empowering feeling within me with people can think whatever they want. That's on them. I've done nothing wrong. Like, I don't need to hang my head in shame. I need to, like, work through this now and just be there for my kids, and my kids be there for me, and be there for him. And it was so, like, empowering. So, yeah, I was so grateful that I'd been on that retreat in the January, or else, like I said, yeah.
And because you've opened that and you've opened that sort of door, is it quite easy for you to go back to do that in a child work because that's sort of been open now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, people had healers before had said to me, you've got to work on your inner child because of the feelings, what I had. But at that time, I just couldn't. I couldn't identify or deal with it. But then when I did, it was powerful. And
the visualisation bit it's tough, isn't it?
It is tough, and it's all right if it's tough because you've not got a visual mind. But you've got to just tap into the emotions, what you're feeling, and when you get a memory. And I think sometimes, like, some people ask you to do it in a certain way, and you're always going to do it in your way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to find your way, haven't you?
Find your way, and that's all right. It's not too rigid, really, is it? I think it's so important. I don't follow rules, don't follow, like, procedures. I do work things out my way.
Intuitively.
Yeah, I think if people put too much rigid plans on things, it's just like, wow, I can't be creative now because you're asking me to just do boom, boom, boom. Leave it to me. And that's the good thing about work. It's they do just let you work things out your way. It's not too procedure based. So I roll how I roll. Obviously, I'm professional, but yeah, I'm not got a procedure too much to follow. And I trust my intuition a lot when I am working, especially, you know, when you read a risk assessment before you go on a visit. Like, right, okay, do I feel safe going in? Yeah, because I'm working with people from all walks of life. But there's some truly lovely people, and I just think if people are honest with you, you should help them. I really, really do. So, and share your wisdom on life, and you know, like I work with a lot of care leavers now, and it's just like, be the mother, be the adult you needed when you're younger, and then it's quite simple. Just do your job. No, I think if any of my 3 boys, I'd just go and set up a tenancy. They don't know what to do. Yeah, and you just got to teach them and nurture. I think it's so important. Yeah, but when I was on the retreat as well, I had a Kundalini awakening.
Go on.
Yeah, that was...
Kundalini breathing.
Well, when we was we did breath work first, and then got in cold water again.
Yeah.
And I just went boiling. And you know Lucy, don't you? My cousin. I went, Lucy, I'm boiling. She went, well...
shout out to our Lucy, I love Lucy.
She went, I'm freezing. I went, I'm on fire inside.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. And there were these curtains what were up, and they were like a snake in water. I could actually visualise it and see it. And I got out at water still, absolutely boiling. And then at night we did the ceremony and everything, and then I had the full on awakening then. And I don't think I've ever seen life same since. But it's powerful because it's your heart and your mind.
You know the breathing that you started off with? What was that breathing that you were doing?
I think
was it Kundalini yoga breathing? What was it? More of a...
some of it, there was a lot of long holds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then some of it's very like cathartic.
Yeah. So you started off with that, brought it up, got in the cold water, that sort of released it, and then you did the ceremony, and then
later on at night, and my back was just like arched.
Would it?
Yeah.
So the ceremony you had later on, was that plant medicine that you had later on?
Just had some mushrooms.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So psilocybin. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful retreat that is.
So amazing. Life-changing. Life-changing. I will thank everybody who were there, because there were beautiful people on it. Like Lucy had said, I weren't a member at the gym then, and she was like, I'm going on this retreat. I went, I'll come. Just a dead cert, I'm coming.
You just knew?
Yeah, I'm come. So I only met a lot of people like you with at airport, and you know, when you've just got that inner feeling, and I thought, my phone's going off, I am immersing myself in this for like the 3 or 4
Where
years.
was it?
Spain.
Right.
Yeah, it was amazing. I am ready to do another one, like last week with how I was feeling, like, I need a retreat, I need this, and I'm like, no you don't, you need to sit with what's happening.
It's hard because I said this today, it's not really a retreat, is it really? Because you're not retreating from yourself, you're actually fucking charging into yourself.
Oh God, yeah.
Which is, so it's what you're saying, you need to retreat, as in, you need to be kind to yourself and just... just... Chill out.
I think when you are being like a little gremlin and not liking yourself, and a lot of stuff's coming up, that's when you've just got to love yourself a bit more and hold yourself a bit tighter. Because, you know, it's natural to feel negative feelings, it's natural for things that trigger you and come up. If you're going to ask for healing, there's going to be stuff coming up, and that's all right. And we're all on different lifetimes. It's like some people might be here on the first time and they're in for an easy ride. You know, somebody else might have been here for quite a few times and bring a lot of past life trauma in. You don't know what other people are going through, so it is that, be kind and don't judge, Because when you're judging people as well, you're just attacking yourself. And I'm not saying I never do it. I'm human, but I am at a really conscious level now. If I do, I'm only depleting my own energy.
Yeah, you're in a low frequency mode by doing that, aren't you?
By doing it.
You can feel it, can't you, when you're doing it?
You can feel it, and you don't feel nice.
Yeah.
It's like I say to my kids a lot, you know, if ever they're nasty with each other or with somebody else, I'll be like, whoa, what's going on with you? Because nobody who ever feels nice is nasty.
True that.
It's true though, isn't it? It's and so many people who are, you know, like not being nice, they just need love a lot of the time. And I'm not in a position to love everyone who's...
No, they're not. I mean, there's a lot of people who need it are scared of the word love.
They're scared of love, yeah.
They're scared of love.
With grief as well, it's like people are after relationship breakdown. People choose to armour their heart, protect their heart and shut everyone off.
Well, I've been there.
Yeah. I've been there. But when you do that, you're shutting
everybody out.
Everybody out. Yeah. And it's the most common thing to do. It really is. You know, it's so easy when you can't understand how you're feeling to tell people go away or get mad with them, isn't it? And we've all done it. We all have. And ultimately, we are all one, aren't we? We are.
We are. It's just people don't understand that though, do they? It's a shame, but the only way you come to realise that is that you've got to go through a deep, profound experience. You've got to connect with yourself before you can connect with other people to realise that we are all one, and to connect with yourself and...
Connect with yourself, fill your own cup up.
Yeah, then you go, fucking hell, we're the same as everybody else, and like, you're just like, oh, wow.
Humbling, it's humbling as well. It really is.
Like, the mushrooms humble you. Never mind going gym.
I've done them once, yeah. I actually, I did them, I went to Amsterdam the other week and I don't like weed or anything, so I did them there as well, yeah.
Yeah, I've only sort of done them in sacred spaces.
I don't do them in
but I've had took little microdoses where I've gone into nature and stuff, but I never saw, I don't know if I can use the word recreational, but when I'm looking for an answer or I want to feel connected, it seems like my go-to.
Yeah.
For an answer.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, I did on that one time in retreat, and
I've got one thing. I don't know why I'm telling you this. I've not told anybody this. Right, okay, so I'll tell you it. So this is what happened, and I've not told Will this. Oh my God, I feel a bit embarrassed saying it, but I'm just going to say it. So I did the meditation the other day, and I told you I've just only recently put the tribal drumming in, right? Because it's just shown to me, and he put the tribal drumming in. So I did this one. I forgot the frequency, but it's kind of this mind to heart frequency, right? And I'm there and I've connected myself and I'm like, right, okay, I'm ready. So I put the tribal drumming on. So I put the tribal drumming on, right? Yeah. And I started listening to it. And then all of a sudden, right, I started chanting like Indian, just like fucking random. I know he's fucking laughing in the background.
No, it's amazing.
But I did that for about 30 seconds and then it stopped.
Yeah, you.
But out loud.
Wow, that's amazing.
Look at him. That's what I got to put up with. I just talk stuff away.
That's me at all.
Like fucking hell.
That's amazing.
It was like I felt ridiculous.
It's sending you to your higher self. Yeah, and it's smashing your ego because it's only your ego what's embarrassed, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I wish I'd fucking look at him now. Mad that, innit?
It's so mad. The chants.
There was like a connection that, like, just a mad chant.
You need to say it
for 30 seconds.
I wonder what you were saying.
Oh, God knows.
I know. It's like, I listen to quite a lot of the chants and I like the music, but that's powerful.
Yeah. I'm just going to carry on doing it.
Carry on doing it. Yeah.
There's something.
It's your higher self telling you.
Yeah, because every time I've done things like that, and you know what you talk about the angels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've never had any experience like that, and I've done a lot of experiences, but I've never had a guide or that sort of I've identified with or somebody's shown themselves to me. Yeah.
There will be, you will have.
Yeah, but maybe I'm just not ready at that time.
Not ready, or your ego can block you. And we're all, I think I honestly will say for myself.
The problem I've got is I'm very aware that my ego is trying to get rid of my ego.
You need one. It's like...
I know, and I'm just like, this is a bit of a sort of conundrum, because if my ego's telling me to get rid of my ego, so how do I get rid of my ego?
Yeah,
so
no,
like,
I get it.
Do you know what I mean? So I'm
I
like,
get
what the
it.
fuck? How do I do that?
It is hard, because we need an ego, and I don't know, certain areas of life in what you drive, some things are ego driven as well. It's hard. I don't necessarily know the answers. I laugh at myself a lot now. I think that helps. I just do. Do you get what I mean?
No, fucking hell, yeah.
And
I mean, like I said, I know Will's laughing there. I'm not embarrassed about it, but like, at the end of it, I'm like,
it's a bit like,
what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
That was weird.
That was weird.
I had a little thing with myself, and then what I had to do was, what you're saying is, not try and understand it.
Not try and put...
And just kind of go, that just happened.
Story on it.
I'm all right.
Yeah. It's like I've got, as a similar example, I had foot surgery and it went wrong and my feet are not nice, so I've got a big tattoo on my foot to be a bit of a disguise, and I got Isis goddess, and I was just like, oh, I like the look of her, I'll have it. And then when I've been to Yvonne, who I told you about, she said I've had past lives in Egypt, and whenever I do a group meditation in her room, Isis comes in, and that's my higher self will have decided that tattoo were right for me without me even having any reason or story on it, and I just massively trust that now. Like, I don't really need to know why, I'll just roll with it. And I think it helps me anyway, but obviously I do think it's probably a bit more difficult for men because you're more logical. So cut yourself some slack.
Yeah.
And I'm just using discernment. I keep some stuff to myself, like you did with that, because not everyone's going to get it or understand it.
I don't even understand it.
No, but it's could be.
I'm alright not knowing as well, I think. Like you said, I think you've sort of like, I've got this thing about like, I don't know at the minute, and I'm like, you know what, I'm alright with that.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I'm like, just,
that's alright.
It is what it is. I don't need no.
Everything. I went quite a few years ago. I went for quantum healing therapy, and that's like where they hypnotise you, and you have a list of questions what you ask while you're under, and you'll get the answers. And I went, like I said, I'm sometimes a bit difficult, and I went 4 times, and she couldn't get me under. Just as she tried, I'd pull myself back out. Yeah. And that I actually said to her, right, I'm not coming again, because I mustn't need for it. No, I think if you know all answers, you might as well die. Because what purpose is there to life? Life is a journey, life's an experience, and you discover as you go along. If I discover all these things, what have I got then? And you've got to go through certain things to get the answers, haven't you? So, yeah.
Yeah, it's good that, Rebecca. I like that, mate.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, and just I did used to be like, I need to know, I need to know things, or it'll help my anxiety and blah blah blah. But then it's just like you're creating anxiety, or you're putting control on a situation what's out of your control. And I really do call not necessarily now, but it's like I do bring humour to situations where you can feel them ways coming in. Because why do you need to know?
I like it, mate. I like talking like that, and then people laughing, and
it's funny.
Yeah, it is funny, and I think it should be right. I think people make it too fucking serious, this space, don't they? That they just kind of you're making it so inaccessible for people.
Yeah, and I think you can call friends out as well when they're doing things what are out of alignment. If they feel a certain way, be like, well, stop chatting shit about people, or you start eating better, or you, I don't know, push yourself out of your comfort zones a bit, or you're a bit kind to yourself or other people, you're not going to feel like that. Do you know what I mean? And I've always been a kind of person where people will come to me, even if I'm out and about. People will come to me and tell me things. Like, amount of things people tell me, and it's fine.
Well, I just told you that, and I had no reason why. I'm telling you,
but I think it's because I don't judge, and I'm like, I'll celebrate that within you. I don't know why I'm saying that now, but like, I have got to a point now where if somebody's telling me the same thing over and over again, same whinging, I will just say, it's a situation you're going through, and you're not changing it, and you're putting energy onto it constantly. Like, ultimately, that's happening within your life, but you're giving it energy, or you're feeding it. So what are you going to do? You're kind of
manifesting it, aren't you, by saying it over and over again?
Yeah, what can you do for change it, you know? Because we've all got problems within our life. Yeah. Life's not plain sailing, but ultimately, like, what other people are doing, that is up to them. It's how you're reacting to it.
Yeah, people festering on things over and over again.
Yeah. The common one is people who feel unloved by other people. Like, self-love. Once you fill that void within yourself, you're not going to crave it off other people. Love is a natural thing. We all hold it. You can't expect other people to give you what you're not giving yourself. You know, if you like, as a mother, if you're looking after everybody else and not looking after yourself, and then getting annoyed with everyone at home, you've got to look after yourself. You really have, because if you don't, everything everybody else does grates on you. You know, you hear so many people say the kids are selfish. Well, to me, ultimately, I think we're raising them now in a way that there is nobody more important to them than them. And to me, that's a beautiful thing. Yeah, it is a beautiful thing. As long as they're kind with other people, if they are putting themselves first, that's only triggering you because you don't put yourself first. Change it. And I know we've got to prioritise, and you know, I'm a mother and a grandmother, and I'm conscious, and I do a lot for them, but you've got to do things for yourself too. It's important. And you don't own your kids, and you're not in control of them. They are taking their own path. And I don't think, well, you can't take their karma as well. So any mistakes they make, you can be with them and you can guide them, but you can't take their karma. And if you're protecting them in ways what are out of alignment, they're going to carry on getting that lesson. So if they're struggling with money and you keep getting them out of it, getting them out of the problems, they're going to carry on having that lesson. So they've got to face their own stuff. You see it when kids are young, you know, like, mine are what you see, what you can get. Mine are what you see, what you get. But a lot of other parents, oh no, my son said he didn't do that. Well, they all have. And it's all right. Let's face it, and they'll learn. But them parents who are protecting the kids, and the kids want to carry on getting the lessons, and what you're going to do when they're older. I mean, mine are quite honest. They'll be like, yeah, I did because of this.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. But a lot of kids are scared to admit what they've done, aren't they? Which again is sad. Yeah.
If people were want to book in with you, mate, and they want to find you, where do they find you?
Well, do you know what? It's Insta, but I've come off it for a few weeks. Yeah, I'll reopen it up and have a bit more self-control on it. I was just mindlessly scrolling, so I just thought I've got to close it and just take some time out. But I'll reopen it.
So when you do reopen it, what are you on Instagram?
Energies of an Angel.
Sound.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming, mate.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. Thank you for listening, everybody. Goodbye.
Tim Marner, what, you're branded with the best. Tim Marner, what, you're branded with the best. Tim Marner, what, you're branded with the best. Tim Marner, what, you're branded with the best.